Alright, back again, Luke here, and as you can see in front of you, these are those two Sega Saturns that I just wound up getting, and I figured we could test these things out together here and see how they're working. I kind of believe that the Victor Saturn has a little bit more hope than the white Saturn here, but nonetheless, they should both probably be able to get up and run in here. They just need a bit of some cleaning, I'm guessing. And what I've done already is I've gotten the cords from one of my other Sega Saturns and plugged those in. Haven't powered this thing on yet, but figured we could give it a shot here together. So let's get the old cord and see what it does. It's got power. That's good. Alright, let's see if the old controller works. That's working. Okay. Well, it looks like it's coming up with the old menu screen here. Let's try out a disc. I haven't done anything to this. And I know that Ian, also known as Stuff I Wrote here on YouTube, was wondering about the Saturns when you go to open up the doors, if it's supposed to make that sound, and yeah, it is. So when you open the door, yeah, it makes that sound. So yeah, dude, hopefully that helps you out. But let's see here. Let's pop in some knights here and see how it works. Like I said, I haven't done anything to this thing at all, so if it reads it first right off the bat, then great. Which I'm probably assuming it's not going to be too bad. We'll see, though. Probably just needs a little bit of cleaning. Well, nope. Okay, it's not doing anything. Yep, it says no CD. So, well, we're going to have to probably do a little bit of cleaning or something on that. But so far, at least it's powering on, which is a good thing. We'll see what we can do with this one here in a little bit. But let's take this out and turn this one off. And this CD is, I mean, it's like mint, so we'll put that there, unplug this one here, and plug in the old white one. Alright, let's move these over here. And the white one looks to be a little bit more abused. But, I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Well, that should be enough. And let's see what this one's doing. Well, once again, we got some power. We got video. It's good. Oh, sorry. Ooh. Alright, and once again it's booting up, which is good, and let's see if it'll read it. I'm guessing probably a big no on that one, just by looking at how worse this one is than the other one, but wow, it's actually turning it. No way. The one that's in the worst shape is actually trying to read it. Oh man, that's nuts. I think it'll work. I think this thing, I mean, look at it. It's just been stepped on and stomped on and, you know, all sorts of, really nasty stuff going on here. But it looks like this one will actually play. Start it up. Oh, nice. Nice. Who would have thought it? Yeah. So the white one actually does play. Great. So all we have to do is just work out what's wrong with the Victor Saturn here and get that going. And yeah, clean up the white one a little bit. But these two have a lot of potential. And it's just a shame to see these things just get all messed up there. I think it was just based on looks, you know, maybe somebody didn't have all the cables for it too, but we'll polish this thing up, it'll look like brand new. And this one as well, get those controllers all working, and we'll have another video here soon on the inside of the Victor Saturn, show you what's going on there. Stay tuned. Alright, and as you can see here, I've gotten the covers off, and you can probably see maybe why this thing isn't working so well. It just seems to be pretty much caked on with dust, and it looks like the gears are pretty dry here, so what we're going to do is just kind of get some compressed air and blow this out here, clean off that lens with a little bit of some alcohol, and try and get this thing going. This top casing here should come off too. Yeah, that's probably the main reason. But that should help it out a lot. And I know a lot of people, every time I put up a video on cleaning lasers, usually there's somebody different who asks, what kind of grease do you use? So when you go to use grease, just use, white lithium grease or any kind of mechanical grease that's used for moving parts. Do not use Vaseline, do not use cooking oil. Those are kind of products that will eventually get very sticky and cause more trouble than they will actually help out. So, but yeah, this one's a little dust ball monster, and we go over to the white one here, and pretty much the same thing going on here. So, got a lot of dust and hair and all sorts of goodies going on in here. Let's pop this one off, but surprisingly enough, this one actually did fire on. So, even though this one looks 10 times worse. But we'll take this outside. There's no way I'm going to be doing this inside the house here, but take them outside, get the compressed air, blow these things out, grease those rails up right there, and yeah, give them another test here. So we'll throw that video on here in a second. Okay, so as you can see now, the inside is all cleaned out. I went and took it outside and used some compressed air. I've also added some grease here to the sides, to the rails and the gears themselves. One thing I like to do as well after I add the grease is I like to take and, by messing with the gears here, run the laser mech back and forth a few times. Make sure it doesn't feel like it's too stiff, like it's sticking anywhere. If it is, what you can do is remove the laser mechanism, take the pole and, wiggle it around a bit and make sure that the lubrication on the inside actually gets through and around the outside of the pole there, and it'll make it slide back and forth a little bit easier. I know that sounds really, really wrong, but just take it for whatever it's worth. And once it feels like, okay, this thing's, moving freely, then you should be all right. Another thing I like to do is remove all of the ribbon cables. As you can see down there, there's a couple of tabs here to remove that ribbon cable. Remove the ribbon cable, clean it up. What I do sometimes is I scuff it up using a little bit of some fine sandpaper and then put it back in, just to make sure it's getting complete contact with it, as well as these kind of ribbon cables, one on the side here, just pull it out, and this regular cable here, and just remove it and pop it back in. Reason why I do that is just because over time, with these contact points, they can become a little bit corroded, and that will cause bad contact, and it might lead people to believe that there might be a bigger problem than what's actually, present. So try and do the simple stuff first, and then after that, then you can go and work your way around and kind of do the more difficult things if that's what it needs. So we got the cables plugged in here. Still haven't tested this one out yet, so I figured we could give this a shot and see what it does. This one's going to be a little bit more tricky. Another thing that I do is I like to have the laser mechanism all the way to the back here, because normally if the laser is semi-working, what it'll do is come all the way forward here and try and read it. If it's stuck, and it's stuck all the way up here, sometimes it'll never read it, it'll never engage, so I like to push it all the way back there and then let it come forward. So this one's a little bit more tricky because here is where we have our engaging for the CD drive, but this is a kind of dangerous place to be putting your fingers, so I totally don't recommend doing this. What I'm going to do here is use a really dry cotton swab, and I'll just use that to hold this in place, as I don't want to be anywhere near the power supply. But we'll hit the power on this, and you can hear it kind of come forward, but let's see. I need the remote. Yee! Okay. Well, let's try this. I should have used some tape. Maybe that's a better idea. Hold on a second here. Let's use some tape. I'll actually put this down for a second. As long as it doesn't fall. Stay. we'll use a little bit of tape here. Let's turn this off one more time. This will be easier. But you could hear the laser mechanism itself kind of roll forward, so... Make this a little bit thin. And with all this, you know, when you use tape to hold a door open or a lever open, make sure you remove it after you get done testing. That should keep it in place. Okay. So because the battery on it is dead, it's, yeah, it's going to go through this though each time. Still does not seem to be doing anything. Interesting, interesting. So yeah, this one's still gonna need a bit more messing around with here, I guess. Let's take this off here. See if it even glows red. Nope, doesn't look like it's doing anything like that, so let's try and hit this. It might be a dead laser. Okay. Well, there is also a pot on the back here, and we can try to turn that a little bit. Actually, I need a different size screwdriver, so what we'll do is probably cut here and see what else I can do to try and get this thing going. Try and see if I can turn that pot in the back there just a little bit, and yeah, then I'll put up another part here. So. Okay, so upon further investigation of that laser mechanism, I found that anytime I had hit the power on it, the lens itself would just move up and down, but there was no red light at all, even after adjusting the pot on the side there. So what you see in front of you is actually a different laser. What I've done is I've taken out the old laser. This is the old laser mech that I had in there, and this thing, like I said, it's just it was just moving up and down. It was not doing anything. So I think this laser is actually gone. I don't know if you guys can see the part number on that or not, but that says 8417B. But yeah, I had an extra laser sitting around here, so I decided to pop that in, and yeah, so figured we'd give this a shot and see what it does. This one actually seems to have a red light going on with it, so it should be alright. Yeah, you can see already. I mean, it's already starting to read the disc, so that's one thing that the other one wasn't doing, but start this up here. Yeah, you can hear how smooth it's working too. That laser, after greasing up the rails and stuff too, it's, I mean, just really, really quick, really nice and smooth. But yeah, this one's up and going again. So what this one needed was a new laser mechanism for it. So not too bad though. I'll probably pick up another one here to fix the other one that I have. This one here is my other parts Sega Saturn. If you guys remember, I don't know if you're subscribed or not to a really cool guy on here. He goes by the name of Stuff I Wrote. His name's Ian. If you saw his video, his Sega Saturn, he wound up frying the PSU in it. So what I did is I gave him the PSU out of this one, and this one was having some issues as well, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see if we can get this one working again, but just using this one for parts. So nonetheless, it's nice to have this one up and going again. And we have both of these working really nice, and I'll get those covers up here cleaned up, and these things will look like brand new, especially after getting this controller cleaned up too. Just take a mental note of how nasty this thing looks right now. It's gonna look like $1 million when I get done with it. Same thing with this one. It'll clean up quite nicely. So we'll put up the last installment here in just a second, so stay tuned. Alright, and here's the final product. As you can see, the white Saturn came out really, really nice. It's not perfect, but it looks really, really good. A little bit of dust there, but it looks a lot better than before. The controller itself, you know, I managed to get it nice and clean, but unfortunately couldn't remove all of the green kind of tint to it. It's still got a little bit of a tint to it, but it is sparkling clean, as well as the Victor Saturn controller here. Scrub that one up, and it's looking really, really nice, as well as the Saturn itself. Clean the whole shell up and put it all back together. And since neither of these came with any cables, I had to go and dig out some cables that I had. I didn't really think I had any extra cables laying around, but luckily I managed to find a couple of sets. So what I figured we could do here is power both these beasts on and show you the intros, show you them both in action here using the two monitors. This will be kind of crazy, I guess, a little bit wild. So let's give this a shot here. So let me see if I can do this at the same time. Alright, let's go. So I changed both the batteries in it and set the time up, so this is going to be a little bit irritating because there's two games, two different songs. So it's interesting how the Victor Saturn starts up a little bit quicker, but not the same game, so but it'll be a little bit noisy. Just bear with it. Rockman X4 and Rockman 8 going at the same time. It's a bit intense. But yeah, as you guys can see, they're both working really well. Working great. So just took a little bit of work here, a little bit of scrubbing and cleaning and re-greasing, and for this one here I needed a new laser, but nonetheless was able to get both of these things going, and I'm really pleased with the results. But just wanted to share this with you guys here, and yeah, like always, I'll put up another video here soon, so thanks for watching. It's interesting because I can't remember if I put up a video on Rockman 8 yet or not.